You're here back in the Fantasy Bar, 6 of my favorite plays for a big Monday night, including a few names I think are going to go overlooked tonight. A starting pitcher with massive strikeout upside in this matchup. I think you got to get in your lineups. And of course, my favorite play of the night. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. What's going on, guys? Welcome into the Fantasy Bar for Monday. Talking MLB. Got a wonky schedule of games here. Make sure you check the start times. FanDuel has a 6:05 Eastern start. DraftKings starting at 6:40 Eastern. So make sure you get those lineups in. But we are back, as always, with 6 of my favorite plays covering both of those sites. Before we get into today's plays, guys, you know the drill. If you enjoy your time here in the Fantasy Bar, whether you've been here for the entire ride over all these years or you're a newcomer, do me a favor on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Get notified when these videos are coming out. We're going to have baseball videos, basketball starting up soon. So we're going to do NBA a couple times a week. Going to be very busy here in the Fantasy Bar. I want to make sure you guys are a part of that. So thumbs up and subscribe. Next, want to get you a special offer for being a loyal bar patron. Head over to RotoGrinders.com/beer. That's going to give you $10 off your first month of core premium, which covers baseball, the NBA, the NFL, PGA, all the major sports right under one umbrella. Ton of great content there. So make sure you go check that out at rotogrinders.com/beer. And last piece of business before we get into the plays, make sure you go and download the Sharpside app as well. The streak contest rolls on. Very simple. You get in the app, you make your favorite lock bets of the day, go on a streak for a chance to win some great prizes. Get over and download the Sharpside app today. All right, let's get into the plays for Monday night. Again, make sure you check that schedule on both of these sites. But let's start with one of those guys I said in the beginning. I think it's going to go a little bit overlooked tonight. Outfielder Nick Castellanos of the Reds. So Castellanos, one of those guys we know absolutely destroys left-handed pitching. We're talking about a WOBA approaching 500 here at 463 last season against left-handed pitching, which led all Cincinnati bats in that department. And then we start digging into the matchup here with Jon Lester, a guy who's traditionally been okay against right-handed hitters, but we want to dig a little bit deeper. We want to look into those pitch types, and Jon Lester really loves to use the fastball and the cutter against right-handed hitters. Both pitches Castellanos hits extremely well with WOBAs, over 400, some power in there as well. And we see on the screen Lester allows a lot of hard contact to righties, approaching 40% in that department. So Castellanos, a guy that hits lefties well, matches up very well pitch-wise here with Lester, and Lester giving up that hard contact. Great mix of stats here. I think he'll go overlooked. I think that's a mistake. Pay that price on Nick Castellanos to lead us off here for Monday night. All right, let's stay in the outfield. Speaking of paying up, we're going to go all the way up to George Springer of the Astros. Now, some big prices here, especially on DraftKings at $5,400, and a lot of times what that'll do when there's a price that high, it's going to help to lower the ownership. A lot of people aren't going to want to pay that price. Not saying he's going to have no ownership, but that can sometimes help lower things. FanDuel $3,900, about where he should be. Let's take advantage of that price as well. But this guy did very well, righty on righty, in 2019. You see that 322 ISO, WOBA up there as well. And Kendall Graveman, a guy we haven't seen since 2018, but the last time we did, things did not go well for Kendall Graveman. The numbers were absolutely atrocious against right-handed hitters. We're talking a 372 WOBA, a 270 ISO, a guy coming off a missed year. Gotta imagine he's going to be rusty here, and a matchup with the potent Houston Astros offense is not going to help Kendall Graveman. But if I have to pick one Astro here in the bat department, it's going to be George Springer. So don't be afraid to pay that price on DraftKings and FanDuel, a lock and load at $3,900. All right, let's stay in Houston, but we're going to go a different route here, not another bat. We're going to go with starting pitcher Josh James against the Mariners. So I promised you a guy with big-time strikeout upside. We don't have a lot of those guys on this slate. So interested to see what the ownership is going to look like here on James. And to be honest with you, I don't really care. We're talking about a guy 30% or higher strikeout rate in each of the last 2 seasons. In fact, pushing 38% in 2019. We look at this projected Seattle lineup, and I see a lot of strikeouts in this lineup. 6 of the projected hitters at 20% or higher strikeout rate against righties. 5 of the bats at 25% or more strikeout rates. And I think that leaves enough strikeout upside where we don't have to worry about Josh James not going 7-8 innings. I don't think he's going to give you that. They did extend him out in some of the inter-squad games, got in the 75-80 pitch range. That could be enough to really pay off this price, especially on FanDuel at only 6,700. So massive upside here. Love the matchup with Seattle. Josh James, easily my favorite pitcher here for Monday night. All right, moving on back to the bats. We're going to get to the infield here at first base with Rhys Hoskins of the Phillies. So another guy we know, year in, year out, this guy gets it done against lefties. No different last season, 419 WOBA. We know the power is there as well. The hard contact rate is what really jumped off the page for me at a massive 54% last season against left-handed pitching. And J-Happ, a solid pitcher, no doubt, but really struggled against righties in 2019. See that ISO at 235. You see that hard contact rate we want to see north of 40%. That is the combination we want to see for a power hitter like Rhys Hoskins, the guy giving up power, giving up that hard contact. So a great mix of stats that we're looking for here. The Beer Gut also talking to me here on Rhys Hoskins, feeling good about him. Plug him in those lineups here tonight against J-Happ. All right, next play for us, we're going to stay on the infield. Second base, Brandon Lau of the Rays. Now, if you're on DraftKings, you get a little positional flexibility here as well. Second base and outfield eligible. I would plug him in at second base. A lot of good outfielders. We know night in and night out tonight. No different. But back to Lau, starting the season red hot. 5 hits over the last couple games. Nice power numbers against righties in 2019. 265 is where that ISO checked in. And Fulte, guy we've talked about for years, struggled with lefties once again last season. 223 ISO. 39% hard contact rate. So we just talked about that with Rhys Hoskins. Well, now let's add in a fly ball rate north of 46% as well, and we really get a mix that we're looking for here with the ISO, the hard contact rate, and giving up fly balls. Puts Brandon Lau in a great spot here tonight to do some damage against the Atlanta Braves. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play on tonight's slate. But before we do that, guys, we're going to run it back. We're going to bring back the contest, the Beast of the Night contest here that we ran over the last couple seasons. How does it work? All you have to do, and this is absolutely free, get in the comment section of the video and let me know fantasy points on DraftKings for my highest scoring hitter on this slate. Doesn't necessarily have to be the Beast. Any of the 5 hitters, all you have to do, you don't even have to give me a name. Just give me fantasy points for which guy scores the most fantasy points on DraftKings. The closest guess is going to win a free week of RotoGrinders Premium. Gets you a chance to check everything out behind the scenes. If you're already a premium subscriber, thank you for that. We're going to send you a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Again, absolutely free, and that's just a thank you from us to you for checking out and supporting the video. All right, so they got that behind us. Let's take a look at my favorite play for Monday night. You know, Matt's the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. We're going to stay on the infield and round out our 6-pack here with shortstop Xander Bogaerts of the Red Sox, tonight's Beast of the Night. So we talked about digging deeper and finding pitch types, and you can do that in our Plate IQ tool on RotoGrinders. Hopefully you guys are taking advantage and utilizing that tool. One of the best tools that we have, in my opinion. But when we dig into those pitches, we see Michael Wacha loves to throw the fastball to right-handed hitters. In fact, uses that about half the time against those hitters. Bad news against Xander Bogaerts. 447 WOBA and a 328 ISO. This guy puts up massive numbers righty on righties, and we know he's one of the best. We look over the last 2 seasons, almost a 380 WOBA for him in 2018 and 2019 combined against right-handed pitching. And over that same time, Michael Wacha has really struggled with a WOBA north of 350 allowed to right-handed hitters. So add it all up, Xander Bogaerts in a great spot, pitch-wise, righty and righty-wise. The prices are fair. Hits right in the heart of that Boston lineup that we've seen put up some massive numbers already, making Xander Bogaerts easily my favorite play for Monday night and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up for Monday night here in the Fantasy Bar. As always, any comments, questions, feedback, make sure you get in that comment section right below the video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, the subscribe button. Get over to rotogrinders.com/beer and take advantage of that offer. Download the Sharpside app. Most importantly, fantasy points for any of my 5 hitters on DraftKings. Closest guess is going to win the Beast of the Night contest and that chance at a free week of RotoGrinders Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. For rotogrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Best of luck here tonight, guys. We'll see you back here on Wednesday for more baseball, NBA coming as well. later this week, so keep an eye out for that. Guys, thank you for watching. Good luck tonight.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist.